Hello, it's Propaganda Patrol. I just wanted to take a look at the 2025 German elections, which are today. Uh, oh, dang it, I said again. Okay, last video I said and let's say we did for example, a drinking game where every time I say you take a shot. Dang, I did it again. You would be dead by the end of last video because I say so many times. So this video I'm going to repress my urge to say and let's see how I do. All right, let's talk about uh, the dang. Let's talk about the 2025 German elections. So I'm going to talk about these three main parties because they are the ones I've heard the most about, and I might get to these later, but I have CDU, AfD, and the Social Democratic Party of Germany all pulled up on Wikipedia. And oh goodness, 1 second. OBS, please. All right. So let's get into these parties. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read the just the top description about each of these parties and give my comments about them. Now here's the deal. I AfD specifically has a lot of negative connotations towards it, and I no one has told me why they do. I've asked online several times why AfD is a considered a far right German party, and nobody seems to be able to tell me, which is weird because everyone says they're far right, but we'll get into that later. This is the right wing party. This is the quote unquote far right party, and this is the uh, left wing party. So I've heard this party has been moving more to the what Americans would consider like the democratic left, and this is like an actual socialist party, and then this is the what Germans would call the like the MAGA Trump party. Uh, dang it, I'm trying to get better. I swear. Far right comes second. Okay, again with the far right. They're never beating the far right allegations. I don't know. All right, let's get into dang it, CDU, the Christian Democratic Union of Germany. In German, it says let's try to pronounce this. This might go really bad. Christlich-Demokratische Union Deutschlands. I'm gonna try to learn German in college. I swear, I'm gonna get better at this someday. A Christian Democratic, conservative political party in Germany, center right. In America, we would call this Christian nationalism, and people would have a meltdown if they saw Christian and democracy and political party and conservative in the same sentence. My I've been called a Christian nationalist online for stating opinions like, uh, dang it, for stating opinions like, actually, I can't really remember. I didn't say anything like insanely nationalist or Christian. They just took the fact that I had an American flag in my profile picture and said, "You're a Christian nationalist. You're evil." And I've also put the fact that I'm a Protestant I run a couple threads accounts where I just make political. I don't want to say content, but I guess the best word is content. Where I'll just kind of rage bait people into responding to me. And one of my biggest rage baits was asking why AFD is a far right party. I'll get into that later. Nobody seems to give me the answer, and I really want to know why people consider this the far right party. Anyways, Frederick Mayers is the federal chairman. Frederick Mayers. Sorry. The federal chairman of CDU. Sorry, I just ate. Um, so they're the party that's probably going to have the majority. No votes have been, not all the votes have been counted, but so far CDU, AFD, and SPD are going to be the significantly most influential parties in this election. And it seems that this guy, I don't know how the German political system works, honestly, but this guy right here is going to have a lot of power in this next. Uh, Congress isn't the right word because they're German, but what would it be? I guess Reich is still called the Reichstag, or because it burned down when Mustache Man burned it down. I don't. I really need to look more into Germany because this nation's fascinating. Has been federal chairman since 2022, so this guy's going to be incredibly powerful. You're probably going to see this guy. This. Why does he look so sad? Who did this to you? I'm so sorry, man. If you need a hug, I'll be here. Anyways, yeah. Okay. 50 out of that's not a ton. I mean, the Republican Party and the Democrat Party are like split 50-50 in most elections. So only seeing 152 out of 736 is kind of insane. But I know the German government works different than the American government. I just don't know what kind of majority this has over the German government. And I probably should have prefaced this video. I am extremely American, so things like the German government are not exactly my forte. I love the American government. Like I love studying the government. But I don't we didn't learn any of this in school. But if you are a German and want to comment about how your government works, please let me know how influential this is and how influential this is right here. 209 out of 70, 700, what was it, 36? Yeah, 736. Anyways, dang, I did it again. Forms the CDU-CSU Bundestag faction. CSU is what is CSU? The Christian Social Union. So is this a another like centrist party, I guess? Christian Democratic and Conservative. Okay, so no, they're just two conservative parties that have come together. That makes sense. And so they've see, I wish our government had something like this, several parties running for the same seats instead of half and half is Democrat, half and half is Republican. I feel like this system lets more voices get out. You don't have to follow one specific party. You don't have to be limited to one party. So yeah, that is unfortunate coloring. The turquoise, turquoise is an interesting color, but putting these two colors together is uh, since the election defeat or founded in 1945. That is quite the start founding date as an interdenominational Christian party. See, that's pretty cool. They joined the well, seceded from the Catholic Center Party. Are they still a party? The Catholic Center Party is a democratic political party influential in the German Empire. That is an old party. Wow. Yeah, back in my day, I voted for the Emperor of Germany, Kaiser Wilhelm the Second. To Belgium, Belgium, in Germany. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so that's the German flag right here. That's why the colors are. They should really put red on here. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's pro-European. What are they towards America? Like pro-European Union? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, they want to have and work with the European Union, which honestly, I think the European Union is a masterwork. It has kept peace in Europe, in Western Europe, for, I mean, since the end of World War II. It's fantastic. We need more stuff like the European Union across the world. Imagine if we had a North American Union stretching from Canada to Panama. We can end all wars in our small little corner of the world, our little island. Little island, I say, massive continent. Since the election defeat, yada yada, helmet, helmet. Is that a popular name in Germany? Helmet? Uh, I mean, surely helmet in German and helmet in English mean the same thing. Who names their kid helmet? That's funny. Leads the government of seven in Germany's 16 states. Oh, leads seven out of 16 states. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Centrist International, International Democracy Unit, European People Party, member of the European Parliament, Ursula. Ursula. Surely this person was named before Ariel cartoon was released. And I know Ursula probably is a German name, but to people raised in American culture, when you say Ursula, you think of a massive, like, octopus person, and she does not look like a massive octopus person. It's the current president of the EU Commission. Okay, that's pretty cool. So they're a Christian conservative party. See, I wish we had a Christian conservative party in America, but neither of our parties are Christian. Neither of our parties, I mean, are remotely Christian. And I mean, that's okay. It's just I wish we had something where we could vote for people who agree with our values. Though I say that asterisk, Christians controlling a full government is not, in my opinion, a great idea. You look at the Puritans, you look at the Holy Roman Empire, you look at the Spanish Inquisition caused by a Christian government overextending its will on the people. I think Christianity is important to the values of a society. I don't think it needs to be the entire government. And that's where the multiple system of many party system of Germany is, I mean, that's its strength. It really is. That's fantastic. I really, really appreciate that. We're not going to go into the history because, well, if we did, I would be here until probably Tuesday. It's Sunday, so I'd probably be here till Tuesday if I went through all the histories and all the people. So let's go to AFD. So I apparently need to be extremely careful when I talk about AFD because they are the Mustache Man's successor, according to some, according to others, the savior of the entire world. I mean, this party is. I don't think I'm going to make very many comments about this party, but all I can say is nobody has told me why this party is considered far right. Nobody has told me. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, nobody's told me why this is considered a far right party. Really appreciate if someone would explain to me why. What's up, bro? I didn't expect to see you today. uh, he's a funny guy. Agree with him or disagree with him. This is kind of funny. Oh, and nativist. What does nativist mean? It means protecting the interest of native-born people. Okay, so they're anti-immigration. Are they anti-illegal immigration or are they anti-immigration? Okay, I would consider myself anti-illegal immigration. I would not consider myself anti-immigration. I think we should reform our immigration system. I don't think we should destroy it. Uh, America is the melting pot of the world for a reason. Although, that being said, if people come across the sea, say, I want to be a German, for example, or I want to be an Italian, and they say, but I want to be a German, but I also want to be a Peruvian, or I want to be a Chinese person. Like, they hold on to their own culture ahead of their culture they're assimilating into, and they refuse to assimilate. That's an issue because a country can't exactly run extremely fluidly when nobody gets along, when especially when Christian and Muslim cultures clash. They fundamentally disagree with each other, and they fought for years. You have the Crusades, you have the jihads, from 600 to, I mean, even to modern day. Everything from the War on Terror to the Crusades is a example of Christian and Muslim conflicts. And because the cultures collide so violently, it's hard when people from Muslim countries and people from non-Christian countries come into Christian countries and refuse to assimilate. So I understand where the nativist idea comes from. I just don't. We need immigrants, especially here in America, where we are the melting pot. We really need immigrants to help enrich our culture, to provide a system of, how do I put this? A system of community for people who are already here. That being said, if they refuse to assimilate, that's a major, major problem. Um, yeah, let's keep on moving. They're Eurosceptic, so they don't like the EU. I guess they're Germany first, and that would make them nationalist. And nationalism, I do associate nationalism with the far right. And if that's, I mean, that makes sense. They oppose immigration into Germany. Do they oppose illegal immigration? Because obviously there was the, for example, the Syrian civil war where a bunch of people moved from Syria across the Mediterranean in boats and illegally came into countries like Germany, into Italy, into Greece. Why did Greece get out of my head? Into Greece. Are they against illegal immigration or are they against immigration? I really wish um, it would clarify. The name of the party reflects its resistance to, uncontested by mainstream policies, the policies of Angela Merkel, leader of CDU. Okay, so Angela Merkel. Is there a mention of Angela Merkel here? I mean, this didn't really talk about Angela Merkel, but I guess she's the current head of the. Well, it said this guy Frederick is the head of the CDU, but this is talking about Angela Merkel. I don't see. Please, someone tell me about German politics. They interest me so much. I don't know anything about them, and that's kind of why I'm presenting my American opinion on what's happening. Sorry if that makes you upset, fellas, but I feel like especially us Americans need to take a little look at some of these parties and how they might affect the future of Germany, because Germany, I would consider Germany the head state of the European Union right now. Germany, France, and the UK are extremely important to the European Union and to the, I mean, Germany kind of speaks for Europe as a whole. So if they do something good or if they do something bad, it kind of reflects on the entirety of Europe. Anyways, let's move on. Ideologies include German nationalism, Volksschicht. The Volksschicht movement was a blood and soil. I don't know what this is. I mean, I probably learned about it in AP Euro, and I made a 4 on that exam, which is pretty good, but this isn't exactly telling me much. Through the dissolution of the Third Reich, it probably inspired some of Mustache Man's really bad ideas. So yeah, I would consider this bad. I would consider this maybe bad. I don't know anything about it. National conservatism. So it's just nationalism mixed with conservatism and opposing Islam. I don't think opposing Islam should be considered far right. I think that's just a policy of the party. Like I think German nationalism should be considered far right, but I don't think this is necessary. I don't know if this is necessary because I mean even here in the small box, it was only active from the 19th century till 1945. So Is it active now, or are they just lying? I don't know. That's probably this kind of feels like propaganda right here. And opposing Islam, opposing immigration, welfare chauvinism, which is the idea that welfare benefits should be restricted to certain groups. That's not good. Oh, natives of a country. Okay, so I feel like this is I don't know. There's I'd like to see how backed up this is with like actual facts because you can say all of this stuff, but if you can't prove it, that's not I mean, that's not that's just bad framing. It's just lying. I would like to see where welfare chauvinism that it should be restricted to certain groups. And I do honestly believe that the natives of a country and those born in the country and those citizens should have I mean, it's a country. The country is meant to serve its people, and its people are its citizens. Those who come here without permission shouldn't have the same, like, social, the same monetary benefits as the citizens. I mean, it's not fair to both the people who are waiting in line to become a citizen and to the citizens of that country. Euroscepticism, which that I would not consider that far right. I would just consider that um, I mean, Germany first. The UK did the same thing with Brexit. So, I don't know, man. Climate change denial. I disagree with that. And supporting closer relations with Russia, which I think we really should support closer relations with Russia, but be skeptical because they are notoriously backstabbers. Not the people, the government notoriously likes to, well, favor its own needs above the needs of anyone. And when I say the government, I mean Putin really wants himself to be in power all the time instead of anyone else. And that's not exactly a very great trait from President, in quotation marks, Putin. Several states, associations have been accused of harboring connections with the far right. Linked, yes. Accused, why are you putting accused? I mean, that's not fair. Saying they're accused of something is not fair. Guil- uh, Guilty until proven innocent, right here. You have to guilty that this is guilty until proven innocent. You can't say someone's guilty of something until you have proof. Okay. I don't know why. I don't know why they would put that. Although that being said, Wikipedia does spend a lot of money on DEI programs for some reason. I don't know why they spend so much money on DEI. You look it up yourself. I mean, I guess I could look it up, but they spend a lot of their money. They ask for donations, and then they spend a ton of their money on DEI programs, stuff that don't even really help people. It's just this is a weird company, man. Far right national movements such as Pediga against Islamization, this identitarian historical revisionism, employing historical revisionism. I'm glad they cite a source here, and maybe we can take a look at this some other time, especially once we see the results of this German election, which, by the way, right now are the exact same as earlier. Which, by the way, 28 and 20. I mean, this is a conservative supermajority. I guess not supermajority, but you get the point. It's a conservative majority, so the conservative parties can work together and really get their agendas through. The party is strongest in the areas of former communist German. Yeah, okay, so if you look at a map of where Germans vote for Germany voting map. Yeah, okay. Here we go. You can clearly see CDU, AFD, STU. They like to vote in the former communist areas. That's because these are poorer areas with that still have held on to. Um, I mean, obviously, these nations have developed or not nations, but these states have developed differently from these states. These states have been oppressed and so hold on to a lot more conservative beliefs, while these states have been allowed to grow and get extremely wealthy. And I bet these states, especially, are probably a lot more show like contempt towards these states because while these states have gotten to grow and become extremely wealthy, these states are just poor. The Berlin Wall fell in '89. They separated from, they reunified in '91. This is extremely unfortunate for the people living in this area. So I could imagine they show contempt towards people living, or not contempt, but like jealousy, I guess, towards the people in these much richer areas. And you can even see based on these, you can see where the cities are. Like here's Berlin. You can tell there's a city here. You can tell there's a city here. And look on this map, significantly more. You could tell there's a city here, here, here. I mean, and smaller voting areas. It just shows that these areas have a lot more population, probably a lot more richer, and these areas are unfortunate. I mean, it's just kind of sad what's happened with the whole communism thing, I guess you could say. And that's for to me at least, it's kind of weird that any German would vote for socialists or any party left of the center after this mess of communism. But who am I to judge, I guess? Who am I to judge? Especially the states of Saxony and Thuringia? Oh, goodness. Perceived as strongman rule. Is this like a Putin, like, I don't know. In former East Berlin, came in SPD. Is this SPD? Oh, did I call them SCU earlier? Yeah, they're SPD. Okay. Yeah, you get the point. These are the considered far right people. I don't know if they're actually far right or if the media is because obviously in America we don't have left leaning media. We have center right media and we have right media. Like Fox News I would consider right. CNN I would consider like center left, I guess. We don't really have any left wing parties or left wing thought in America. That is different from Europe and Germany, for example. And that's where we're moving on to next. We're moving on to the Social Democratic Party of Germany, which is the Socialist Party. Again, as I was saying earlier, this is a country that has been fractured by communism. Why they vote for anything left of the center is, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know why they would do that. Of all of of like the nations in the world, like Russia, Poland, the Czech Republic, anything that was on the I don't want to say the wrong side, but I would say the wrong side of the Iron Curtain really should never ever vote anything communism because it ruins their nations in terms of wealth, in terms of stability, etc. Let's get into this party. I really don't. I've heard a lot about AFD. I've heard a lot about CDU. I don't really know anything about SDP. Wait, SDP, SPD. Yeah, you get the point. The SPD, SPD. You get the point. Social Democratic Major Party, Saskia. Oh, oh. I mean, ooh. I- The haircut. I mean, is this the Karen haircut? Is this what you consider the Karen haircut? I don't know. Ooh, I see people with that haircut. I mean, my grandma has that haircut, so I can't really say anything. But, but never mind. Let's move on. I'm not gonna go ad hominem against people I don't know. Okay, Olaf. Ooh, okay. Elected chancellor? Oh, they had the chancellor. Interesting. The Greens, the Free Democratic Party. Okay, so they formed out of a union with the Greens and the Free Democratic Party and turned into the SPD. Founded in 1875. Please don't tell me we're already going into history. Oh, okay, the history's down here. So this is the overview. 1891, 1914. I'd like to go into what they actually believe in after the rise of the not so good party. SPD was the only party in the Reichstag that voted against the Enabling Act. Oh boy, oh boy. So they claim the mantle of being the anti-Nazi party. That probably plays really well into the media. They probably can hold that over other parties, saying, "Oh, but we were the party that voted against Hitler," stuff like that. Though I could imagine, yep, they were subsequently banned and exiled in the so paid. I'm surprised they didn't teach us this in history class because this sounds super duper important. Kicking all the non German parties out of the Reichstag. I mean, that's crazy. I don't know. That I mean, that's weird. I don't. Why didn't they teach us this in history class? Hopefully, they teach us this in college. I really hope so. Second World War merged. Yada yada yap yap yap. Holds pro-European Party of European Socialists. Again, this is what communism does to your country. I know socialism and communism are not the same thing, but they evolve. I mean, socialism has historically evolved into communism, and this is what communism does to your country. So why would you vote for that? To each their own, I guess. To each their own. I'm trying to be non-biased, but I mean, it's weird. Okay. Progressive Alliance of Socialists and Democrats. Socialist International. Wow. Look at that. Is a political international seeking to establish democratic socialism. That's fascinating. Look at this. From the UK all the way down to India is like a streak of socialism. Iraq is socialist? Israel is part of this part? Okay, that's wild. Wow. Interesting. I don't know if they're actually socialist or what. Are these like nations part of the I don't know, but yeah, you get the point. All right, Progressive Alliance. Wow. Look at that. I guess the Democratic Party would be here, would have be working with the Progressive Alliance. And I'm surprised the Democratic Party is not working with Socialist International, though the Democratic Party is, in its modern state, it's not doing very good. It's like an old man dying um, because of, I mean, after our last election, our Democratic Party is not doing very good, while the Republican Party is. If another election happened right now, J.D. Vance versus whoever the Democratic Party could scoop up, it would not go very well. I think the Democratic Party is coming to its end. I mean, it's not good. What's happened to it is really tragic because I think having two old historic parties is better than having one massive Republican Party. Especially if, for example, Donald Trump does something completely wild, we need to have a counterbalance. And what's happening right now is not a counterbalance. A we're basically just kicking the. When I say we, I don't mean I'm not a Republican right now, but when I say we're kicking the Democratic Party, I mean like conservatives in general are just ruining the current Democratic Party. Anyways, I digress. This is about Germany, not about America. So yeah, this is the current state of the German election. It's we're probably going to see a lot more conservative policies out of Germany. I don't know how well these two parties work together. I don't know if the AFD has like uh, ostracized itself by pandering. I don't want to say pandering because I don't really know, but by selling itself to, or not selling itself, I don't know. It has far right people in the party. Like, of all the parties that they're going to go to, they're probably going to choose this party or this like far right people are either going to choose this party or this party. And by having far right people in this party, it kind of screws them. So, and I'd probably vote for this party if I was German, though I don't really, again, I don't know anything about German politics. Although I'm glad I did this because these three parties are fascinating. And I don't know who Grun or Die Linke is. Die Linke, forgive my poor German. Um, but yeah, this is the German election. Later today, we should see a finalization of this mess that we're in. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, and please comment me because I need to know more about German politics. And I probably will spend a day or two looking into German politics because Germany fascinates me, and I want to. I mean, I'd love to go to Germany and just talk to people and figure out what all this is about and what. I mean, I now know what the biggest parties stand for, but I'd like to know what actual Germans have to say about these parties. So, yeah, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and have a good day. This was Propaganda Patrol.